Okay, all right. I am. Hopefully, will be wide awake to get through this. Um, hello. Welcome to yet another episode of Cosplay Bites, the show all about cosplay conventions and all the nerdy bits and bytes. Um, as I've teased in fairly recent episodes, this is the big PAX East 2025 recap, and I'm joined, of course, by none other than my very good friend Mink the Satyr for
Hello.
for this little recap. I feel like it's tradition because I think you're like the only person I do this with these recaps.
Aw,
Um,
that's really cute.
yeah, as far as I can remember. Um, Yeah, no. Just I guess before we get into it, like I mentioned, there were two other episodes that I did fairly recently that you guys can check out. One I did was our traditional catch up with Emrys Concept, and another one with Carnage Cost from Australia, where it had been I think several years since I last had them on the show. So definitely go check those out. And without further ado, yeah, so PAX East happened about 3 weeks ago.
Was it that long? Are you? Could be. Maybe it was only 2. I can't keep track.
Hang on. No, it'll be 3 weeks this Thursday.
Well, that's gross.
May is a beefy month.
There was a lot in May.
Yeah.
And PAX isn't usually in May, so this was a weird season.
This was a weird season. Everybody loved it, and then at the end of the convention, they released their other dates for next year back in March, and everyone's like,
"Well, yeah, I mean that's
not the cold. Please, God, not the cold."
But that's the original time.
Yeah.
They only moved it because the convention center had construction that was happening during its usual time this year.
Okay, I was going to assume they somehow double booked another event that same time frame, but no.
Oh gosh, no. They book these things like years and years in advance. And for a convention like PAX, which draws so many individuals, and it's run by one of the organizations that does like a bunch of conventions, ReedPop.
ReedPop, yep.
ReedPop gets a lot of like priority over some of like the other conventions and things that get booked in the BCEC. So yeah. I imagine that it was just a simple matter of like, no, nobody can do anything during these weekends because that's when we're doing our construction.
Gotcha. Interesting. Oh, I did not know.
That's how the sausage is made.
In any case, I was there under the media badge with my podcast, and then you were there. Were you there for all 4 days, or?
No, I'm only ever there for 3. I work as a teacher when I'm not, cosplaying and such.
Right.
So it really wasn't. Wouldn't be responsible of me to take 2 consecutive days off from school.
No, I get that. I just didn't know if you had an approved 4-day pass, but only did 3.
That's correct. I did. I had a special guest pass.
Gotcha.
So while I could have gone for 4 days, I only actually went for 3.
Yeah. Yeah, and then looking back at it, I feel like honestly 3 days is perfect. Like I've done done instances where all 4 days, Thursday to Monday in this case, it's a lot.
Absolutely. I mean, I think the big thing to keep in mind if you're planning on going to PAX and you want to do a 4-day is that Thursday's the day to do all of your demoing and all of your shopping, especially all of your shopping for like exclusive things. Like, so PAX itself has a bunch of just like con-specific merch.
Yeah.
And that tends to sell out pretty quickly.
Yep.
So if you do have a Thursday badge, that's one of the advantages is that it's like a little bit less stressful to catch that merch before it gets sold out.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people do Sunday shopping, But the disadvantage of Sunday shopping is if you find something that you like on Friday, the time Sunday rolls around, there is no
There's a
guarantee.
decent chance they might not be able to have that. And people are like,
Exactly, that it will have
oh,
sold out already, or
yeah,
sold out in your size if it's clothing.
yeah. People be like, oh, Sunday deals, which is true. Some vendors will do like little Sunday
Right, it's the
special
I don't want to
deals.
pack this deal.
I don't want to. Yeah,
It's very common.
yeah, yeah. And then for me, I think it was on a Friday, but because of the timing of when I arrived, I couldn't take advantage of the free media hour that media people get. They get to wander the.
Oh yeah. There's like it works the same way with exhibitors too, is they get like an extra hour before and after the expo hall is officially open to con goers, where they have access to like kind of mill about and interact with one another before con goers go hit the floor.
Right, right. But yeah, no,
Having exhibited at a PAX before, it is really fun, that extra hour in the front and the back, especially in the back end, because everyone like kind of lets their hair down and just has like a good time and it's just vibing, and it's like, hey, how did your booth do? Oh, this is how mine did. How did yours do? And it's just a really wonderful time to like talk shop as opposed to just like being inundated with sights and sounds.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Um, so let's see. I got my little paper up here. All my notes. So you know, I was actually fairly surprised at the amount of cosplay I saw this year.
Oh, that's good. I feel like I didn't see enough. Like it's still like a lot. That is no question.
Right.
But ever since the pandemic, I feel like it's been less
Of a cosplay
like
focused convention.
correct.
No, I've noticed
Correct.
that too.
Less of a cosplay focused convention. But this year was lovely in the sense that they had a dedicated cosplay photography and cosplay repair room
Yep.
hosted by Nerd Caliber,
Yep.
which is wonderful because Nerd Caliber and specifically first person shooter have been absolutely just dedicated to
Oh god, yeah.
PAX cosplay coverage for years and years and years. And it used to be that they would be like right in front of the elevators right when you go into the convention center. And then they got kicked from there. And last year they were on the third floor in the most like obscure rando place. Finally, the organizers of PAX listened to the feedback and got them their own room. And at this point, like, to me, the only thing that could really up the ante is if they also, like, and this might be a Nerd Caliber thing, but if they decorated the space to be conducive to more, like, backdrop scenes, so that...
Sure. Yeah.
Sorry, my computer just went completely black, so you'll have to forgive me.
That's okay. I can still hear you.
Oh, good. I was worried that
Mhm.
that everything cut out. Sometimes my computer has weird tech issues. Anyhow,
Yeah.
so yeah, I would live for that sort of thing. It's something that I saw at Anime Boston this weekend. Was they had a lot of like cool backdrops and sets for
Oh, you went to Anime
like
Boston
photography.
this weekend? Or last weekend?
Just for a day. Just for a day.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. All right.
And but they have sets. They have like photography moments. So like cosplay and photography is rampant at cons, but rather than say like, oh, you can't photograph here, you can't photograph there, they like literally set up like very cute, really well put together sets with like seating and like props and stuff so that you can just go and take your photo here and it doesn't look like you're inside of a gross convention center.
Right. Yeah.
It's cool, is what I'm trying to say. It's cool.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. I saw a lot of Marvel Rival skins or cosplay.
Oh yeah, tons.
A lot of Final Fantasy VII characters.
Well, there was a lot of Final Fantasy in general because of the Magic the Gathering
panel.
Final Fantasy. Not just the panel, just the announcement that was like happening.
Yeah, those two
was big enough to get
those
everybody with their Final Fantasy costumes out.
yeah, no, I totally makes sense. Yeah, they had backdrops for mimicking the church and like the shot of the Shinra building in Midgar, so I got to
So cool.
pose with the Buster Sword. That thing was heavy. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, it's so funny when these like AAA titles bring in their own props for posing like with fans and stuff, because they tend to be either like real amazingly made but so heavy,
Yeah.
or like cheap mass produced and nothing in between.
Yeah, I remember awkwardly sitting on the motorcycle. I think this was when Rebirth was remake was coming out. Like
Yeah.
it was like the PAX East before the game was gonna drop. Like I think the game was gonna drop like a week later, and they had that sort of setup on display, and it was just like the bike was massive, and you had to awkwardly sit on it, and like I had to have help being positioned to sit on it properly. It was a blast.
Sure. I think a lot there were several booths that did a very great job with like setup and photo ops.
Yeah.
I was really delighted to see, like, obviously the AAA titles were going to do this amazing job because they can afford to have like their own in-house fabricators building like castles. But even like some of the indie booths this year had just really cool setups.
Yeah. No, I definitely can see that. Yeah. What else did I see? I saw a couple League of Legends, Tunic, and when I say Tunic, I meant yours.
I cosplayed from Tunic, listeners. That's what. I'm so surprised that there aren't more Tunic cosplayers out there.
Really?
It's just such a good game, and I thought for sure like Little Fox protagonist would be like such a popular little friend to cosplay as, but oh well. This is my challenge to cosplayers: cosplay from Tunic. Yeah. Make me happy.
I was very happy to see. I don't know if I think it was one group in particular. They did the baguette skin from Expedition 33, which had just come out. Like I think the previous month. It was a riot. It was so perfect.
Yeah, there were a couple of cosplays from that game, which again just dropped like maybe a week or two prior.
Yeah, I think I saw one. I wrote down Warhammer because I think I saw a couple of people in heavy duty Warhammer suits, which is nuts. And then
yeah, I definitely saw at least one Warhammer person on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
It was a really cool build. They did a really great job.
Absolutely. And then I saw, I think, the same group of Baldur's Gate 3 cosplayers at the booth, which has me wondering, is Baldur's Gate 3 booth the new League of Legends booth? Like, I can understand to a point where why it's, like, part of me was like, wait, why is this still here? But then I got further told that, oh, apparently they had just uploaded a patch to the game adding more stuff. And I'm like, Jesus, how much more stuff can they add?
Yeah, but it's just so popular.
Yeah.
And they're another booth that had a really good display for photos and things like that. So that was very cool to see. And just to like watch other people interact with, it was very, very precious.
Yeah. And then of course you had the Pokemon Play Lab, which I got to walk by several times, and then I remember getting to chat with on the last day with Avi J cosplay. Was sitting on the sidelines watching their partner Hyperchai play through a match. I guess to get some cards or get some swag, which I remember.
Yeah, they always do. PAX always has like a very big section just for the Pokemon trading card game.
Yeah,
which is awesome if you are into the trading card game. I'm not a card gamer.
I'm not either.
So I'm like,
I'm
like, this is nice. I would have really loved to have seen a booth that had any information about the upcoming Pokemon game.
Yeah, the extent that I play, that I do the TCG Pocket, that's the extent.
Yeah, well, that one was very popular. That's the mobile app.
Yeah.
Was super duper popular when that dropped. I don't know too many people who are still playing it, but it's probably that they're playing it in the same vein that they play Pokemon Go. They just don't talk about it.
Yeah. And then
It's something you do on your phone when you're bored.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, I don't have Pokemon Go anymore. I think I played it that one summer when there was World Peace.
Oh,
and then we all
did.
dropped off the face of the earth.
Oh, we all did. It was so good.
It was so great.
We all touched grass.
We all touched grass that day.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was wholesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna thankfully I got out of my apartment earlier today, and then I'm gonna be doing the same thing a couple more times this week. I'm very much looking forward to it because it's not fun getting all cooped up here when I have nothing else to do.
Word.
The Night Rain booth was funny because it was just like a Thunderdome, purple dome. But then I was walking by with some friend, and we were like, "So what the hell is in this thing?"
Did you actually go in? I never did.
No, I think we tried to. I think I got to hang out with some really good friends of mine for an extended period of time, which was really nice. And we made like gym plans together for this entire summer to go to the gym together. But yeah, I think because the thing is, I guess this game is coming out this week.
Oh. All right then.
I think it May 31st. Not a big Elden Ring person, not a big Souls person in general. But I don't know if I think we asked around or tried to look for signs. I don't think we ever got clear clarification of what the hell was in this dome. So, if I believe I have comments open on when this episode goes published everywhere else. So, I mean, if you were at the Night Rain booth, please share what was in the mystery dome.
Tell us what was in the dome. You know who had a really intriguing booth? I'm personally just not super into the content, but their booth was really great. Was a booth for this game called Goblin Town.
I think I missed this one.
Oh, I don't see how you could. It is a racing game, which is not it's not my cup of tea. I acknowledge it's other people's cup of tea. Good on you.
Yep.
But the booth itself, they made it into it was basically like a trailer that they intentionally made look really dingy and stuff. And they put the wildest neon signs that were just arrows pointing down to the trailer. And it was so funny because you hit the expo floor and the first thing you see as you're looking over the sea of chaos is a bunch of neon signs pointing this way. And I just turned to my buddies and was like, listen, I've played enough video games. Obviously this is where we have to go next. I'm like, the sign says this way.
Maybe I was just oblivious and too overstimulated to notice because I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Neon signs.
Oh my god, I genuinely don't know how you could have missed it. It was
maybe I just
so many arrows pointed down to and they were very high up. So it was I don't know, maybe 15, 20 feet up off the ground. We've got these arrows just pointing down to this booth. It was hilarious.
Okay. Wow, that was all right. No, I clearly missed something. Oh well. I myself got to check out the media room. I think we all did at some point, actually.
Yep.
And
did you ever go to the what was it? The
Creator Club?
Red Bull, the Red Bull Club.
I wanted to. I did. There was just so much going on in my head that I didn't take advantage of doing that. So, yeah, no. I was gonna say this is I can't remember a time when I drank this much Red Bull in the span of 3 days.
So listeners might not know what we're talking about. So this year, media / creators / special guest services were all sponsored by Red Bull.
Yes.
And they were not aggressive about it, but they were very eager to be no, come hang at this one area that's exclusive. You need to have a special badge. And when you went to pick up your badge, literally at pickup,
yep,
you would get your
media
badge or your special guest badge, and you'd get a two pack of Red Bull.
in a
I
little
was like,
slip in a little
oh,
slip case.
okay.
And it's like, oh, all right,
Yeah, it came with a little carrying case
yeah.
for your convenience.
And
It's
then
like, oh, right then.
and then I think the media room itself had those same 2-packs just laying on the table for anyone to take if they wanted to. In addition
They were
to
real
a
excited.
in addition to a Red Bull mini fridge stocked constantly with Red Bull that you could just take one every time you go in. I tell you, I had the summer edition flavor with the white peach. That flavor is goated. Oh my god.
I am delighted, however, that Red Bull wasn't like a jerk in the way Mountain Dew was a jerk last year. So last year,
Really?
Mountain Dew at the previous PAX had this like exclusivity clause in their like vending policy where it was like only our family of products can be sold if we are going to be present and have this giant booth.
Yeah.
Which meant that any other beverage vendors, I'm looking at you, Wild Bills, was not allowed to vend that year.
Really? That was the reason?
That's why they weren't there. So it was very unpopular. A lot of us wrote in being like, bring back Bills.
Was this
So
last year?
Wild Bills did come back. Yeah, this was last year. Last year Wild
That's
Bills
why.
wasn't there, and that was why.
Yeah, wow. That's
Exclusivity
so
clauses,
weird.
dude. Yeah. No, it's great though, because we got Bills back. I got to buy a new mug.
I got to finally use my mug after I got it years ago, thanks to you. And I only did it for one day where I got the unlimited drinks, even though I think I filled it up twice. Which, I mean, to be fair, the mug is ginormous, and I couldn't really...
Filling it up twice is basically like having like a pint and a half of fluid.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
I mean, I think that's the go-to maneuver. Like, now I'll just bring my cup every time I go to PAX East and just sip it on the... I think the Sunday makes the most sense because that is the day where not only is it the last day of the con, but I feel like that's going to be the last day where I'm not going to be carrying a lot of stuff with me.
Oh, I'm like very the opposite. The last day of the con, I'm like, ooh, your girl's going to be carrying a lot of shopping.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I didn't do a lot of shopping. I got everything I wanted on my list, and...
Well, that's good.
Just due to current circumstances and the fact that I was in Japan the previous month.
It's true. You did your shopping.
I did my shopping in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then... Well, where do we go from here? We can talk about some of the games we played, or I can touch briefly on the Magic the Gathering panel that I got to go to.
Oh yeah, we can talk about panels in general, because I was a part of some.
That's true. All right, yeah, we'll do panels, gaming, and then a bunch of other stuff that we may have missed. So, yeah, as we mentioned, the Magic the Gathering has a Final Fantasy set coming out, and this is bad for my wallet because one of my best friends played Magic thanks to their boyfriend teaching them how to play. I had no interest in playing, and I still kind of don't, even though they're going to try to get me into playing it, because I just want to collect the cards for the pretty art. Because
I mean, you wouldn't be the first MTG fan to do so.
Because, I mean...
You won't be the last.
Yeah, this is like... Final Fantasy was made for gorgeous art. So they had a panel hosted by Ben Starr, who did the voice of Clive in FF16. Also did, like, Verso in Expedition 33, Kazan. Dude been getting a lot of work, and I love that for him, because, I mean, I think FF16 was his first voiceover video game role.
I'm not kidding.
But it was hosted by him, featuring several designers from the Magic team. So I got invited to attend it as a member of the media. So I got like special seating. In addition to everyone at the panel got a little swag bag, which it was just basically a fancy bag with Cloud on one side, Sephiroth on the other. Everyone got like a welcome deck, like a beginner's deck, I think themed around a certain like color. So mine ended up being black.
Nice.
And then everyone also got a poster, which was one of 5 variants, where you could either get Cloud on the poster, Sephiroth, Terra from 6, Firion from 2, and Emmett Selk from 14. Um, I happened to get Cloud, which was great because
And no complaints
yeah,
there.
one of my favorite FF characters for sure. Apparently, I was told that it was one of the rarer ones to get. I don't know how that is divided up, but they also had standout artist during the panel, given special cards to draw. Like, I think you had the iconic Yoshitaka Amano. He drew some art for some of the cards. And it was basically them revealing several cards from each mainline Final Fantasy all the way up to 16. Then they had a little game show intermission where they split the room in half and they had like extremely special guests for like this event. Like I think they had Adam Cole, who's a wrestler for AEW,
Oh my god.
Karen Fukuhara, who's on The Boys and also was in the Suicide Squad movie. And then also they had Kenny Omega, who's also a famous wrestler, mostly known for him having his walk-on song be One Winged Angel.
Amazing.
And the gist of it was, questions would be asked, like, people would line up to a microphone, questions would be asked, it was all about numbers, and these were insane questions, like, how many, in the entire span of Magic Gathering, like, how many cards are considered, like, equipment or weapon cards? How many, like, I'm off the top of my head, like, how many, like, certain types of, how many cards are classified as bird monsters? Because one of the cards standout was chocobos. And
I figured it had to be a Chocobo reference there.
yeah, they had you can get chocobos of every color if you're lucky, and then there's also a very rare special fully gold chocobo that's also numbered up to, I think, 77 of them were made for the entire set.
Jeez, that's rare.
And there is also a black chocobo that's only exclusive to the Japanese release. Yeah, it was just a blast, and it was just so funny. Like everyone was going like ooh and ah the second the cards were hitting the screens. It ended, I think, when it got to 16. Ben ended up taking off his sweatshirt to reveal his card of his character, both a double-sided card with art on one side, art on another, and it was just like, I'm listening to these guys like talk about some of these like effects that some of the cards do. Some of them were familiar, but it had been years since I played, so I was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, man. I'm just here to collect. Like that's it, and like so far my game plan is I'll like get one of the specialty decks and then that's it. Just go all in on boosters if I can get them, because I guess my local comic shop that I go to also gets Magic cards, and I asked them about it and he's like, we might, no promises, but I mean, like, if we do happen to get some like booster packs, I can sneak them into your little comic pickup. So that's something to look forward to at least. It comes out in June. Like apparently it's all sold out online. So I mean, I'm just gonna test my luck at the comic shop and see what they get. But in addition to that, you had a panel.
I had 2 panels.
You had 2 panels.
It's true.
All right. You want to talk about? You want to talk about them?
Sure. They were both VTubing based. The first panel was on Friday, and it was actually a workshop panel, which was very, very fun. And that one was a panel about how to create your own VTube model and animate it from start to finish. So it was a 90-minute workshop, and that's literally what we did. Is we started with nothing and ended with a VTube model.
Wow.
Yeah, it was great. Like, so it was audience interactive. It was like they picked what we were doing. So I had like people come up. I was like, all right, we need like give me 2 animals and an element. And so it was like person 1 gave me an animal, person 2 gave me an animal, person 3 gave me an element, and it was like, okay, that's our inspiration, and we are off. So we did the assets and drew all of those for VTubing. And, we talked about like why you have to do certain things, why you had to draw it in a certain way, what tools you can use, what software demands look like. And then the second half of the panel was then shifting it over to animate. And it was like, here's the software that I use. This is what you can do. Try this out. Here's the 45-day free trial. Like, have fun. And then I put up a QR code so that anybody could download any of the models that I've already made. So it's like, here, have some things, have some fun. Or they could download physically what we did that evening.
Okay.
And then over the course of that weekend, what I did was I went home, cleaned up the line work of the base art, and then did a little bit more like detailed version of the animation, and then put that up on the QR code so that anyone who went to the panel could easily just be like, here's the baby one that I did, including the video step-by-step guide of like what I did. And then here's one where I like spent a little bit more time, and here's like the file so that you can reverse engineer it.
Wow.
But it was really, really fun. We had a really delightful time. So that was the Friday panel.
Okay.
And then the Saturday panel was a basics of VTubing backed by popular demand. So in the past, we had done one like 3-4 years prior. And then we had done like other VTubing panels that were like a little bit less basic. But then the feedback that we got from folks was like, no, we want more basic. Like, there's enough change that has happened in VTubing, and enough of us that are like new that we would like a return to basics. So we're like, okie dokie, you got it. So that's the kind of panel that we did. I was once again joined by Queenie BB and Goggle Candy. We got a new guest this year because unfortunately we could not get Nimbus Gray out at PAX this year. So we were joined by Xeris, who is an absolute delight.
Okay. Yeah, I think I remember. I think I was at one of your VTubing panels, whatever year you did it. I can't recall which one. My memory is awful.
And we've done VTubing panels at this point, like, annually for several years. So it is A-okay if you cannot recall, because we've done quite a few now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. I mean, and I think, like you said, the turnout was great for both of them.
That's right. The turnout was spectacular for both of them. We were in larger theaters for both, so it was very delightful to see it be like a pretty full house.
Great. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's see here. Were there any, aside from, like, when I was going through the list of, like, cosplay franchises that I was seeing on the floor, were there any that you saw that you can recall that, blew your socks off, in a way?
Oh, any, like, cosplay that blew me away?
Yeah.
Obviously the ones that we, like, talked about already were exciting and delightful. I just, more so than anything, I just really enjoyed everybody's vibe, if that tracks. Like, the cosplayers, I feel like, were especially easygoing. Everyone seemed very respectful of their space, and I didn't see people like harassing cosplayers for photos when they were like clearly sitting down and resting or eating their food. Like, I was just really blown away by that. Like, the etiquette was very lovely. So like costumes are always delightful. I saw tons of great Final Fantasy costumes, wonderful, like, still League of Legends will never die, like League of Legends costumes. I've seen costumes from non-video games, anime and things that were just phenomenal.
Yep.
So I'm just really, really happy to see that cosplay continues to be a strong force. Do I wish that there were more opportunities for cosplayers? Yeah, of course. But we already talked about it. I don't know if PAX is as much cosplay oriented as it had been in the past.
Yeah. Just as you were talking, I just remembered it was so funny that, and I think the cosplayer like intended it to be this way. She cosplayed like as Genova, like the alien freaky life form that Sephiroth calls his mother, but she did it on Mother's Day, and around her neck was a sign that said "Call your mother."
Oh yeah, I mean that was obviously unintentional.
That was intended. I just thought it was so funny.
Yeah, so PAX was on Mother's Day because it was that Sunday.
Right.
There were quite a few like call outs to call your mom, not just from cosplayers, but also from like, enforcers doing line entertainment. So I found that delightful.
Yeah. Yeah. Were there any games that caught your eye? Because I don't know if it's just my taste in gaming, but like I didn't see a ton that grabbed my eye outside of the two that I had media appointments with.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that. I was thinking similarly. I felt like last year was such a big year, especially for indie games.
Yeah.
For like these amazing, like blow your mind titles. I'm looking at you, Animal Well.
Yep.
Like that it's like, how do you top that? But there was one game that I was just excited to see being repped, mostly because I had played other games in the series. So I got to see Moses and Plato is a game that's kind of like a visual novel from the creators who did Chicken Police. So if you're into anthro-visual novel, mystery, point and clicks, Chicken Police is delightful. They have 2 games. And then Moses and Plato is a spin-off game it's in the same universe, and the characters are actually sort of, I guess, cameoed in the second Chicken Police game. But
okay.
I haven't played any of Moses and Plato. I just have a lot of confidence in the dev team because they've done some pretty great stories already. And just the art and the voice acting is always top notch. So I'm like, okay, I'm excited for when that game drops. One of the games that I did like is one of the games that you had a media appointment with, which was Cat Secretary.
Yes. Yes.
Looked very good.
Yes.
It kind of gave me Little Kitty Big City vibes on first blush, but apparently has a dark side. I just didn't get far enough into the demo to see the dark side.
Yeah. I was just quickly looking up Moses and Plato. I actually think Toge Productions is helping like publish the game.
Yes.
Because it was at their booth, right? Am I mistaken?
I think you're right.
Because I remember getting emails from them about the game. Because that was another media appointment I went to with developed by a team called 5 Minute Lab, called Letters from the Past Undusted.
Oh, that looks so good.
It was essentially a code game where you dust off and clean various objects. You get a story reflection with each item, and the whole theme is based around dealing with and having a broken family.
Actually, everything that particular booth was offering looked really good.
Yeah.
They had like a couple of games that had like Studio Ghibli vibes.
Yep.
And I was just like, I basically took the pamphlet and said, I'm going to add all of these to my wish list.
Yeah, yeah. They actually gave me a special little like media gift package, which I
Oh,
adore
that's
from them every
awesome.
year. Where they gave me, and in the bag it was like, I swear I'm gonna have like a collection of these. Like they give me like this little like case with a booklet depicting like what the company is about, like what they do, the games they've made, the licensing agreement that they do. They have like a special like creator like Kickstarter fund that they use to help fund games within the Indonesian like area. Um,
Oh,
but then they also has it comes with a thumb drive with every single demo that they have for the convention. I can never play it because they're all Windows based.
oh
So
no.
it's just Mac issues. That's on me. But then
That's unfortunate.
they also gave me instant Indonesian coffee. Um,
Oh, that's cool.
and another I now have another second coffee talk like barista apron in my possession. So
That's lovely.
yeah, and they actually talked about I asked them about their upcoming Coffee Talk spinoff, Coffee Talk Tokyo, and I just got something from them about it. Then I'm just gonna say nothing else because of embargo. But I can't partake in it because again, Windows based. I'm
Yeah,
stuck.
a lot of games start in that OS.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm very much looking forward to it. Um, they said it should be coming out this year, so I will have to wait and see. Um, and yes, Cat Secretary. The premise got me mostly because of me being a cat owner now. It is this company's first game called Good Story Guild. That's the name of the developer. Um, mostly comprised
They
of
seem very nice.
yeah. No, I actually got to do a short little interview with them, which you guys can look at my if you go check out my podcast show, there is like a 7 minute interview that I got to do with the devs after I came up with questions. But surprisingly, they mostly had experience in conducting and creating various podcast shows. Some have gone on for several seasons. So this is essentially comprised of as a cozy work simulator with a narrative attached, where you play as a cat who is hired on as a secretary for a what they said Disney-like conglomerate. Um,
It's run by a mouse.
run by a mouse. You have daily tasks during the day, and you snoop at night because the big bad in this game is AI, which is extremely timely
I mean, it's
given today's.
beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I was cracking up at the writing based off of the demo because it was just completely off the cuffs, and they actually had an open call for people to voice characters from their game,
Oh, that's cool.
and I submitted reels reading off for two of the characters. So we will see if anything comes of that. I have no idea.
Very
So
cool.
like I could be in a video game. I don't really know. I half am in one of them. Um, in the Coffee Talk sequel. My username is immortalized in a drink, which means a lot to me. Um,
I mean, to be fair, your username would make a great beverage name.
yep, very. It's tea based, and it has a lightning bolt etched into the drink. Um, I've shared it multiple times. You can probably find it if you go stalk my social media. Yeah, so those were the two games I played. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, I mean, like aside from some of the bigger names, like you had Night Rain, you had Baldur's Gate. I feel like 2020 was the last time you had the big names. Looking at you, Nintendo, with
Well,
your
yeah, I think
A plus
they
Animal Crossing booth.
a lot of stuff happened because of our current political situation led to some changes for folks who don't live in the U.S.
Sure, yeah.
So that you know uncertainty certainly didn't help.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree with you. I think that a lot of the AAA titles, not just for PAX, like for other cons as well, they just kind of pulled back a little bit because now they have like Nintendo does Nintendo Direct. They don't need to do
They really
PAX
don't.
or
No.
Comic-Con because they have their virtual version. And let's be real, the virtual version is cheaper to like do.
Produce and run. Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got Nintendo Directs, Sony State of Play, Xbox Developer Directs, Summer Games
Right,
Fest,
like,
all those. Yeah.
I don't think like I don't know. I feel like E3 is not I don't know if we're ever going to get the original E3s again.
I don't think so. No. I mean,
You know what I mean?
Jeff Keighley kind of took that upon himself with his Summer Games Fest and the Game Awards. Those are the quote unquote new E3s because I think E3 is officially dead. It's not coming
Yeah,
back.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is like that used to be a wonderful outlet for AAA titles to like make their big game announcements. And PAX was similar in that way. Like in the early days of PAX when it was really just like PAX Prime and PAX East, that was where a lot of these AAA titles would announce like upcoming games as they would do these like giant panels on the main stage. And I remember like being there for like the announcement of Borderlands 3 on the main stage.
Yeah, Borderlands always come to mind because they always make huge announcements. Because I think they were at this one too with Borderlands 4 coming out.
That is true.
Yep.
That is a great point. I mean, my hats off to them for remembering the roots of like making their announcements and everything because like I don't know, there's something really beautiful about that in-person hype.
I get it.
I miss it. I miss it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there was hype with, I think, the Magic card getting unveiled. Like, I was seeing other Magic, either they were Magic players or mostly Final Fantasy fans popping off on social media, like just watching the cards being unveiled on stream. But no, it was a completely different beast being there in person. I think that was the first time I was ever like on that third floor main stage.
Oh, it's very big.
Yeah, I was not expecting. I didn't know what the hell was on the third floor. I didn't know how you got to the third floor. That's how out of the loop I was.
Or elevators.
Yeah, I did not. I just never paid attention. I also spent a lot of time at the Voodoo Ranger area, just watching my friends get drunk like crazy, which was hilarious.
Oh yeah, that was on the like bottom floor.
Yeah, like
there was
walkway
like,
up to the
where food trucks, like it was on the inside space where if you went outside, food trucks used to be, but unfortunately with the renovations to the convention center, food trucks weren't really allowed to be in that space anymore.
Nope.
Which was emotionally devastating.
Yeah, they got that whole setup with the lawn, which was interesting.
I will take food trucks from local eateries over this rando pickleball court any day. I am so gutted that they made that power move to change it because one of my favorite things about going to PAX was like just vibing with my friends on the lawn.
Yeah.
Like not quite outside of the convention center because it was still like walled off. You're technically in the convention center, but it was like this place, like this lawn where you could just kind of like hang out and not be overstimmed and eat at delightful food trucks. And it was just such a wonderful experience. And I'm really sad that I don't get to have it anymore.
Yeah.
They did have some food trucks indoors.
They did, yeah.
But Obviously, it couldn't be like the same quantity because, you know, it was
Can only fit
they
so
always
much.
have food trucks indoors. I think this year they had a couple more than they had in the previous years because they anticipated a problem. But like
Right.
some of my favorite food trucks could not be there.
Hmm. Yeah,
So sad face.
there's always that waffle food truck that's there. And
I ate the waffle food truck on Sunday because walking into the expo hall and getting hit in the face by the like siren smell of waffle, you can only resist that for too long. And I'm going to tell you right now, no regrets. It was amazing.
it was amazing, really.
Oh, so good. I got my waffle with banana and whipped cream and
What?
caramel sauce. Yeah, it was delightful. You missed out. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, well, I know what I'm doing next year.
I don't know what to tell you.
I'll hook up with your group.
It was
Hook up with your group and we'll do a
delightful.
waffle date. We'll do a waffle date with
literally, literally, because I binged through Severance like everyone else because I am a warm-blooded American.
the group.
So I just told all my friends we're going on a waffle party. As a really lame Severance reference. And then we just all started chanting waffle party. And like, I don't know, something to the tune of like a dozen of us just went to the waffle cart.
Because I know there was
shouting waffle party.
there was the Asian food truck booth that I had before. I can't remember if I liked it or not. I don't know. I don't think I did. I don't know. And then, I mean, Wild
There was a
Bill.
poke bowl place that wasn't too bad, but I always feel a little nervous consuming raw fish at a con, so I went with a cooked
Don't.
chicken
I wouldn't
option.
take that chance either. No.
Yeah, I went with a cooked chicken option just because, again, raw fish at a con feels like you're asking for trouble.
It's a coin flip.
Yeah.
It's either good or
even
bad.
even though it looked very good, and I'm sure it was very good, and I'm sure I had nothing to fear, it just felt like a gamble I wasn't emotionally ready to deal with.
Right. Okay, yeah. Sunday breakfast next year, I'll meet up with you, and we'll get waffles.
Oh, we just straight did. We didn't even do it as a breakfast. This was like, I don't know, 1 p.m., 2 p.m.
All right,
waffle party. It was
waffle
like,
party.
that was just a flippin' snack.
Waffle party on Sunday. That's the plan. Because I think I had.
It was delights.
I had pizza at the con, and then I mostly had dinner by myself at the same bar in my hotel every night.
Oh, I know which bar.
Trying a new drink.
The one in the Westin or the other one?
Aloft.
Oh, yeah, no, okay, I know that one.
Yep.
Weston's actually very good. It's just always so crowded. The food's good. It's just crowded.
I've never stayed at the Westin. I've never.
No, I mean you don't have to stay there to eat at the restaurant.
No,
it's good because I've literally never stayed there. I've just eaten at the restaurant. I do like the food. It's very Irish pub.
Okay.
But I like that. I like an Irish pub. They don't skimp. They do a good job. But
Yeah.
I live 15 minutes from the con, so I just went home every night and just had my own dinner, which on Saturday, your girl treated herself super right because I made myself some beef stew. I got
Ooh.
vegetables.
Heck yeah.
I got umami. I got like, that warm feeling in your tummy after a long day and you have comfort food.
Oh yeah.
And then I got flippin' leftovers, buddy.
Oh
like,
yeah.
I did a good. I mostly did it to redeem myself because the year prior I had attempted to make beef stew. And I was mostly successful, except the problem was I was so exhausted after the con that I accidentally fell asleep and I wound up burning the stew.
Oh
and then
no.
my pride forced me to eat like a giant pot of burnt stew for the following week, even though it was not good.
Oh no.
No amount of Worcestershire could mask the burnt. I was very disappointed in myself. And it was like, it wasn't the most burnt, but it was burnt enough that there was that smoky flavor wasn't a flavoring. You know what I mean?
Right.
So this year I redeemed myself and I was like, good, I am awake. I will make this stew and not accidentally fall asleep while it is like stewing.
Yeah. Good on you.
I did so good. I set so many alarms just in case, and then I like forced. No, it was cool. I just played Fields of Mystria to keep myself awake.
Oh my god. Yeah, I think I have like nearly one of everything off the menu at this bar on the first floor of the hotel. It was like stuffed tater tots was one thing, a burger was another, and then another was like some chicken, I think, and then I had a different drink every night off of their menu before going back to Old Faithful espresso martinis on the last night. Um,
I mean, that's always the rough thing about like eating exclusively at the hotel that you're staying at. And it's true for me. Like when I went to TwitchCon, when I went to DragonCon, basically anytime I go somewhere where it's not like a place that I know super well, and I'm just like, well, I'm already staying at this hotel and I'm feeling lazy, so I'm just gonna eat at the hotel restaurant.
yeah,
It's like you get real tired of the food options if you're staying for like an extended time. So like if I'm traveling like far, like when I went to TwitchCon Amsterdam, that's far for me. So I was there for like a week, which meant for the most part, like most of the nights I was eating at the hotel. And after a week, you're like, I'm all set. Like
yeah,
I've tried that.
all
I
set.
am ready for something new. But like the reality is, it was like, yeah, I could get something new. I could go out. But I was just so tired. And half the time I wanted to be like, all right, dinner is over. Time to like schlep upstairs and just be asleep. And that was going to be much harder to do if I was out and about. So don't read me too hard on my lack of adventuresomeness.
Yeah,
I did go out at least when I was in Amsterdam a couple of the nights, just because. Come on, I was in a different
Sure.
country than my home country.
no, absolutely.
I had to experience the food.
That was. I mean, that was. I'll touch on it briefly because I know I talked about it with you during the con, but I don't want to. I don't want to keep you too much longer. But yeah, because I know. I think they had their after parties. I only went last year because I had Holly Wolf room with me for one night. And she got invited or was gonna go, and she had a +1 free to take, so I got to go with
Nice.
her for the Sonic Boombox party last year. But
Oh yeah, did they do an after party this year? I didn't see.
I didn't see either. I don't remember.
I didn't see a lot of after parties this year. I don't know if it was just that it was rainy and no one wanted to go, because that
Right.
was true for the majority of PAX weekend.
I actually,
Is it was like basically pouring.
yeah, and I actually got to just a quick side note. I wanted to see a good new friend of mine that I made, who's also a streamer, and she went to the con, and because I mean she actually we got to see each other for a brief bit after the Final Fantasy panel because she was actually in the same section. I could see her from behind, a couple rows ahead of me. She was in her Final Fantasy 14, like her Warrior of Light cosplay, which was
Cool.
phenomenal, by the way. Um, I didn't get a chance to spend a lot of time with her because instead of like seeing her afterwards, I went outside the con to a local ice cream shop to
Nice.
go see the voice actress for Aerith. She was doing a signing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Here's the thing. I backed out right as I was about to go, like be next in
Hi.
line.
No.
I couldn't afford it.
Oh,
Keep in mind, I was telling about the prices to
yeah.
other friends, and they're like, "Oh no, that's cheap," and I'm like, "No, I know it's cheap. I can't afford it right now. I'm already
Right.
spending.
Like
I'm already spending too much."
totally legit.
And it's like, so the thing was, it was Cause here's the thing, it was like, one price for an autograph, and then another price for an autograph photo combo.
Yep.
But then it was
And
like,
that's pretty typical.
yeah, but then it was like, okay, so I wanted to get one. It was again, no shade to the actress. Make your money. I get it. It's all on me. I want to stress that it's all on me. I couldn't afford it. It was $50 for an autograph. Here's the thing. It did not say what did that get me in terms of, because I bought both steelbook cases for Remake and Rebirth. Does that 50 cover both of them, or is it one each?
Right.
I didn't want to take that risk.
Yep.
So, unfortunately, like I backed out, and I ended up not being able to see my friend, which was a
That's
bummer.
It's important that you prioritized, like, you made a financially responsible decision as opposed to being like, but this thing. And unfortunately at conventions, people tend to err in the wrong direction on that. So I am very proud of you for making the sound financial decision that you made, because
Thank you.
it would have been really, really cool.
It would have been phenomenal. It would
But
have been
you know
awesome.
what? You know it's really, really cool? Being able to buy groceries.
Yeah, and like
affording your rent. That's, what's real cool?
not being homeless.
Financial responsibility.
What did I end up buying? I bought 2 bags of coffee from Many Worlds Tavern. Love them to death. They're
excellent.
always there. And pins for myself and my besties. Like there's this one booth that's always there where they have with the coffee dragon pen and like other dragon. I got a coffee one for myself, a tea one for one friend, a one drinking wine for the other, and then I also got a KK slider pin for my pin bag.
Oh, that's awesome.
And yes, I believe that's everything. But then the thing about, I just wanted to quickly touch back on the, because I guess my hotel stay included, I think it was like a $25 extra charge. I don't know if it was a one-time charge or if it was for per day, but that allowed me, they gave me a once a day $15 credit to any meal, whether it was from the bar or from the breakfast to go area. So it kind of worked out.
That's great.
Like in total with the hotel, I think I spent just under $2,000. Which,
oh, nice. That's not bad.
Because I mean, again,
for Boston, listeners are probably like, what? And I'm sitting here like, that's not too bad. It's Boston. Everything in Boston is horrid.
Yeah, and it would because I mean, I was gonna cancel. I was not gonna go. I was about to cancel my room, which totaled out to $2,100, until I found a somewhat cheaper room. I think it had 1 bedroom for roughly around $1,800. So that,
which is still disgusting because that's like the cost of rent. But
yeah, and then the food just added an extra 100 something. So I mean, that's not terrible for Boston.
Yeah, for Boston.
But
this comes with, that's not terrible caveat.
Yeah.
For Boston.
And then to quickly jump to Japan, because you were talking about Amsterdam, I did try my best to go out and stay up late and like go bar hopping, but I mean, like there were just some days
I feel like there's a but. Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. If you can't do it, you can't do
it. My body's not wired like it used to be.
No,
it's a joke. We're all getting old.
Oh god,
my knees. I was tired.
My knees, my back, my eyes.
Yeah.
I was proud of myself. I got some really good swag at PAX this year.
Yeah.
Oh, very much.
What'd you grab?
I mean, so I grabbed a dice wand for my husbando for an early birthday present.
Ooh.
Which I had my eye on those for a while, and I knew that was what I was going to get him. So I was just like, oh, it's here, great. Now I don't have to do this in August. Really early birthday present.
I know.
I got myself the Tunic manual, which, if you know, you know.
I saw that.
Absolutely beautiful. It's so beautiful.
It is very pretty.
There was a booth that was entirely run by this one adorable older lady who just makes felt stuff, like hats and shawls and stuff. So I got a shoulder moth. Like, it's just a moth that she like sewed pins in so I can pin it to me, and it was beautiful. And then I hired her to make a custom cloak. So I'm excited for.
Okay.
I know.
Great.
Future me is gonna look great at LARP. This poor woman. I was like, hey, lady, how much is that cool cloak you got behind her? She tells me the number, thinking I'm going to be like scared. I was like, fantastic. It's about what I thought. Do you take commissions? She's like, I do. Exquisite. I would like to commission you for that, but in a different color. She's like, okay, I can't get started for like 6 weeks. Is that cool? And I was like, I don't need it until it's actually cold. So, like the fall. She's like, yeah, I can do that. No problem. You can get it like by the end of the summer. It's like, fan-flippin-tastic. Can I put a deposit? She was like, how's 100 sound? I was like, that's too little. Let me pay for half. So I paid for half.
Oh my god.
This poor woman, I was like, I'm ready to pay for this whole thing up front. I know, she's the only reason I didn't pay for it up front entirely there is because she didn't have like a fully like realized number for me because,
sure,
she had to like do the number crunch, and so I was just like, it's cool. I'm gonna pay for what I think is about half, which is half of what the sticker price of that other cloak is. And you just tell me. She told me it was gonna be cheaper than the other cloak, so I was like, I'm gonna pay for half of this other cloak.
Right.
And you tell me how much I owe you after that. So that's
like a deal.
that's the party we're gonna have. And then the final thing I got. Whoa, so excited I got it. Storyteller Squad had an incredible booth, delightful podcast. If you are interested in the listening to podcasts that are like TTRPG podcasts, it's a delightful one. I encourage any listener to check them out. So Storyteller Squad had a beautiful booth, and they had a very cute jackalope sort of critter plush. It's not actually a jackalope, but that's the closest like stand-in I can give you for what it is.
Right.
It is gorgeous. My buddy designed it and was working with like the plush company to get it like made up.
Right.
And she had been sending me pictures of like the process.
Ooh.
So I'm like, I have seen this thing in various iterations in my messenger inbox for like months. I must own one. So I literally have it in my lap right now. It's very, very cute.
Awesome.
Like really, really cute.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of harkened back to my Japan trip, because there was something that, like, I mean, like, I could have bought a little more, but I was more concerned with the suitcase space.
Oh, yeah.
And it was kind of...
Well, I understand a lot of people just buy suitcases.
That's what my brother did. He bought an extra suitcase.
That's what people do. They buy suitcases while they're there.
Because there was this plush at PAX of, I think it was like some booth, some clothing booth or something, had a mascot of a dragon happily, cozily holding a cup of coffee. And I kept staring at it like, I need it, but like, I can't, I don't trust myself. Because like, if I just like slip and buy this, I'm just going to go crazy and buy other stuff. So I didn't get it. I could have gotten it, especially considering the amount of money I had left over from my Japan fund. It could have covered that, but instead it went to a Nintendo Switch 2.
Hey,
so
good life choice.
Yeah, and there's still some money left over, but I mean that's not gonna get touched.
That's for games. That's for the games.
Or as I call it, Disney World 2.0, which my friend and I are planning for 2 years from now. Hopefully, I'll be in a better place financially.
My fingers are crossed for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's anything. I again, shout out to all the friends I got to see, including you and our little like stream community group.
Yeah, it was great getting to hang with everybody.
Yeah, Volshock, Renova, Ashes, everyone else there. Again, Hypershy and Avi at the Mental Guardians Health booth, which was great. Getting to hover around and talk with them and catch up.
They are a very good group at that booth.
Yeah. Also, shout out to the same tabletop companies that are there in the tabletop section of the expo hall. It's just every year I just see the same name. That's like, yep, this is PAX. This is home.
And that's why they call. Yeah, I was gonna say that's why they call it home.
Anything else about the con you want to talk about, or
no? I think we covered it all. But it was just a real good time.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, this is this is the one con I can't afford to miss because it's not that far of a trip for me, and it just, I don't know, I always feel at peace there when I'm at the con, and then getting to see friends and hang out, which I needed, which I'm sure you know, we talked about it.
Yep.
Yeah, I needed to hang out with people. But yeah, no, I'm like racking my brain quick. I think that's gonna be everything.
That's cool because there's an ice cream truck outside. I can hear it, and there's a part of me. I'm kidding, I won't, but I just need you to know. I can hear the ice cream truck coming down the road, and I'm like real into that.
You crave an ice cream? All right, well, we'll wrap it up.
I'm just excited that there's an ice cream truck. I don't even like need it. I just want to see it.
You want to see it? Okay. All right. Well, we will quickly wrap up. I hope you guys enjoyed this little recap. PAX East. Definitely expect. Hopefully, I'll be there next year. Mink, if they want to find your stuff, where do they go?
It is Mink the Satyr on pretty much every social media platform you can find. That's Satyr. I know people spell things however they want to spell it. That's how you spell satyr.
All right, and then again, if you're watching it live on Twitch, it's Blue Lightning Cost for me, pretty much everywhere. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little chat, and thank you so much for watching / listening. And I will see you all hopefully in the next episode. I don't know when that's gonna happen. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know when, but soon.